What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Kofi Kingston, a.k.a. 1/3 of the New Day. You're not going to say it with me, sir? Yeah, come on, you better participate. Let's try it again. 1/3 of the New Day, and you are watching The Young and the Wrestlers. Ha 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 ha.
Welcome to The Young and the Wrestlers, the Pop Culture's WWE podcast. It's the show that takes a look at the soap opera nature of the WWE, where we essentially just mark out. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan Betson, alongside...
I forgot what I was going to say. Damn it.
It's Jem!
I literally forgot what I was going to say. It's Jem!
This is our special Payback in review. This came to you on a Wednesday morning at 8 a.m. on your podcast services, 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. Our regular show, that comes at you on a Thursday morning at 8 a.m. on your podcast services, 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. You can join us. If you want to join that wrestling conversation, head over to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Discord. All those links are in the down below area. If you want to join the show as it happens, head over to twitch.tv/thepopcultures and you can watch us record this show live. If you want to support the show, you can. Tell your friends, tell your family about this little wrestling podcast. If you listen to us on podcast services, be sure to give us a 5-star rating, a written review, and if you're watching us on YouTube, like, subscribe, ring the bell, leave a comment. We'll endeavor to answer every comment I possibly can. And you can also support us financially at patreon.com/thepopcultures, or you can buy our merchandise at popcultures.com/shop, where you can buy shirts and other assorted shit with our logos on it. Now, Jem, something is interesting today.
Yes.
Something happened very interesting on the phones. So I was looking at, our rankings, because sometimes we, rank on podcasts, things everywhere. So right now, in Ireland, we are ranked number 9 on the Apple Podcast charts for wrestling.
Single digits.
Number 25 on the Apple Podcast wrestling -- all time.
Ooh.
I don't know what the fuck happened, but hi Ireland. Thank you for listening and and giving us some love. That doesn't happen all that often. And as Buddy Watson in the chat says, 6.5 stars on the Meltzer rating. That's what we get.
Oh yeah. Love it.
How's
really
that?
Exciting.
Yeah,
Ireland. That's just so odd. I love that.
Yeah, we've never charted in Ireland before, so I'm pretty happy.
Yeah.
That's a good little bit of it's a good bit of way to start the day.
Yeah, definitely.
So how you been, Jem? Because we didn't end up recording. We didn't get to record Raw this week. We got sort of things got in the way and we weren't able to get to where we wanted to, which happens. It sucks. But instead we get Payback.
Woo! I don't know, coming into this I was a bit like, oh, this is going to be rematch city, and coming out of it I was like, damn, that was good.
Yeah, it's pretty much how it went down.
Generally, like for me, Payback has always been like, that's literally it. It's like, oh yeah, like rematch the pay-per-view.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it kind of was, but it kind of wasn't. It was, I don't know. It was a really nice balance. So I came out of it quite impressed.
Me too. I like. If we'll chuck our overall thoughts out there first. I am really happy with Payback. There was like one match specifically that I was kind of like, okay. Actually, it was 2 matches, really.
Yeah.
But it was just like, okay, yeah. But everything else I really enjoyed. Even all the little swervies and the even semi-predictable outcomes, I was still happy with it. So let's get...
Yeah, you gave me what I wanted.
Yeah, man. So let's get right into it now. Neither you or I did watch the kickoff show, but there was a match between the Riot Squad and the Iconics, where the Riot Squad did get a clean win over the Iconics. Now it has been mentioned that they are having a match on Raw. We are yet to watch Raw, so we have no idea what happens. I have a vague idea, and I'm sad about it, but we won't talk about that here. We'll talk about that tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
But the match that did start the main card was the United States Championship. Bobby Lashley with MVP and Shelton Benjamin versus Apollo Crews. Now, this feud, Jem, is just going and going and going. I don't know how it hasn't stopped yet.
Yeah, neither. And from the looks of the outcome of this match, it's not going to stop anytime soon.
Yeah, so in short, Bobby Lashley did get the win with the full Bobby, which I'm not quite sold on that. The full Lashley, my apologies. Full Bobby sounds way sexier. But the full Lashley doesn't go.
Sounds
either
like
way,
a British policeman. The full Bobby.
The full Bobby. Right, and then just hike you in the knees. So what like? Firstly, what did you think of the match, and then we'll get into what this means.
Oh, look, the match was pretty good. Don't get me wrong. Like, Apollo Crews and Bobby Lashley are both big, meaty dudes that just can hit really hard. So overall, the match was great. I mean, one thing that did get me laughing was Michael Cole was talking about a German suplex that Apollo Crews did, and he didn't finish his sentence. He just yelled out, "Oh, and another German!" And I was like, "You gonna finish that sentence, Cole?" Like, apparently there was just another German.
Just Germans.
Just Germans apparently. But yeah, it made me laugh. But what I wasn't expecting was at the end of it, like Apollo Crews just out of nowhere starts beating the shit out of Bobby Lashley, screaming, "I'm gonna take that belt back." That I wasn't expecting. So he's clearly mad about the loss, but it seemed like last time the full Nelson did put him out for a month with like a slipped disc. So I think the tap was more a self-preservation thing.
Yeah, it was a smart call by Bobby Lashley. Like, knowing that was the result last time they fought, and last time he got him into that move, Apollo was going to take the safe bet. He's like, he cannot be out for another month. So it's a situation of like, I will have to take the L here, but at least I can fight another day.
Fight another day. Yeah, exactly it. Which he did have some pretty good counters to that full Lashley a few times there. So he really did hold his own. But yeah, unfortunately, the Hurt Business have gold again. Yeah,
so I wasn't too invested in this match. I've discussed in the past how little I care for either Apollo Crews or the Hurt Business.
Yeah,
but
agreed.
What I'm wondering is where this will take the Hurt Business. Now, I was under the impression that maybe that Apollo Crews is going to win. That was my pick, only because I thought this was kind of done, and I thought the Hurt Business might look in somewhere else, maybe like the tag titles or something. But I think they could still do that now, but with the United States Championship as well, because I thought maybe they would and then head into Raw Underground as well. Maybe they'll become the new force of Underground, and if that ever does get its own championship or something, that they would be in that position. Because like we remember night one, Bobby Lashley came in and wrecked house, and then they kind of haven't been seen since.
Yeah.
Because it's this weird line of as a team, I don't see any valid reason for them to return. So we saw MVP try twice and win, then lose again. And now Bobby's in, but like Apollo Crews really should just kind of leave it alone now, Yeah,
exactly.
Like, where do you see this going with the United States Championship or the Hurt Business?
I can't. Like, it doesn't, nothing sort of rings a bell. Nothing says this is going to happen next to me. So it's really a tricky situation to be in.
Yeah, so I think Buddy Watson in the chat. So he's kind of put into words what I think about Lashley and Shelton Benjamin specifically. He goes, they really need to give Lashley and Shelton more personality. Amazing athletes, but they have never been able to get over like they should. And I would agree with that. Like, Lashley was probably the most interesting for me when he was in that Lana storyline, which they've just completely forgot, by the way. No acknowledgement that they divorced or whatever. It's just like they're overdoing their own things now. But that was most interesting because he just looked like he was having a fun time. Yeah. Where Shelton, he did that weird eye thingy last year.
Yeah.
But then nothing. Like I know you've got history with Benjamin, but I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing the appeal.
Yeah, see, he again, back in the day, he was just a really good wrestler. There really hasn't been much personality to him. I think he's been around for so long because he does wrestle so well.
Yep.
He really is good at what he does. When he gets the proper opportunity too, like the 24/7 championship and stuff like that, it really doesn't showcase what he can do in the ring. He actually is a phenomenal superstar. But yeah, I don't know. It's really falling flat for me, and I don't know where it's gonna go. Like, what are we gonna have? Like, I don't know. I don't really care, to be honest.
Yeah, I can't even, I'm not going to waste energy speculating because I just can't care.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
one thing I can care about is Martin coming through with a resub there. He goes, sub hype. Hey, beautiful people. Hope you're having a great day. Game that tune also adds Shelton Benjamin is funny on Up, Up, Down, Down, though, when he's on it. So obviously he has personality, but I don't know why he feels the need to hide that when he's on telly. It's a bit of a bummer, really. Speaking of fucking personality, though, Big E versus Sheamus.
Yes.
The next match on the card. I'm gonna let you take this one, Jem.
Yeah. So first thing they showed was something that I did watch, which was a video recap of Big E having a big old chat with Miz on Talking Smack, and that hyped me up for Big E so much, like how much he believes in himself. So going into this, I was like, he's easily going to take out Sheamus. And while he did, it wasn't easily. It was one hell of a goddamn match. Like, those two were beating the living shit out of each other, which I loved. I absolutely loved it. Like, I've been watching Sheamus for years. He's always been amazing at what he does. Super strong, super vicious. Being matched by Big E, who's shorter, but sort of a bit stockier. It was just a really good match. There was like, for the most part, Sheamus did have the upper hand, obviously targeting a weak knee of Big E, which Sheamus is good like that. He's very aware of what his opponents have as far as injuries go and how to target that. But Big E did come out of it with the win off a big ending.
Yeah, which is kind of where I thought it was going to go, because I said Big E is on a run right now. He's feeling hot. He's ready to go. Sheamus is, even though confident with his new hat and fucking singlet, he's coming on a cold streak right now. Jeff Hardy, he sort of got involved with like Shorty G for a little bit there, but I guess it was a win, but who fucking cares? Like, he's not doing well. And I don't know what it is. I don't know what he's missing, but I don't feel that he's delivering what he should be. He was coming back from, like, on his return, he was looking so hot and ready to go, and he was mushing people, but there seems to be a turn recently, and I don't know what it is or what he's shaking. Maybe the feud with Jeff Hardy has sort of shot him a little bit, mate, because, for that, he was having a bar fight, and it was like that should have been his place. Like, no rules, just kick the shit out of each other. So that should have been his place to win, but it wasn't. Yeah. Shout out to Big E's attire, of course, which had it was a repurposed All That logo from the old Nickelodeon show, which made me laugh the second that I spotted it. We did also see on his left pec down the front, it said men slapping meat, which made me laugh really hard again. And then around his thighs was the promotion. It said book your boy on Cameo and hashtag New Day Pod. So I'm like, he's just selling his wares all over his attire, and I thought that was fantastic.
He's great on Cameo. We have proof.
We is proof. He was my birthday present last year. Thank you to Jem and my other friends who gave me a sweet little cameo from Big E. And Game That Tune goes, Big E is a national treasure. Damn right he is.
He really is.
So Jem,
he really, really is.
Big E's on a run. Where do you see this? Like, we are. Let's fantasy book the shit out of this. All right. Mm-hmm. Where do you see him in the short term? Where do you see him in the long term? Go.
In the short term, look, you can't not agree that he is on a roll. Like, he was even screaming at Corey Graves at the end of it, like, you tell them, Graves, you preach to the people that I am here and I am ready, and if you don't feel that, then they don't feel me. And yeah, like, he was just like, Corey Graves was like, I was looking into his eyes, and nobody's more determined than, like, he's like, I could see it in his eyes that nobody believes in Big E more than Big E believes in Big E. So it was super interesting to see. Short term, I'm not too sure because I'm immediately going to the big time and I'm seeing him with a belt.
Yeah.
A big belt. I'm seeing Kofi Mania Big E. Like, I think that we're going to have that lead up where Big E is going to end up in that Kofi situation where he's going to get that big hype. Like, you know, before the match, Sheamus was saying, like, you know, nobody's been holding you back. They've been holding you up and it's your time to fall. It's completely the opposite. I think Big E's ready. And I'm really excited to see him go far.
Yeah, so I'm in a similar place too. Short term, I'm just seeing him getting wins. Like, it's only a couple of weeks until Kofi and Xavier return, presumably. And similar to Kofi's run, I guarantee they're going to support him all the way. I once again want to see them with all the belts. I want to see tag titles. I want to see at least, I guess, in the short term, I want to see Intercontinental. I think because he's only ever held mid card titles. I do believe that he's better than that. I believe the IC title could be that stepping stone to something further. Because then that's how it should be used. That's how the mid card belt should be used. Yeah. But I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to make a bold as fuck statement right now.
Do it.
We know that Big E is a big old face.
Oh, yeah.
Who is the latest big heel?
Oh.
Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman. Oh, yeah. On SmackDown, we come to learn that he's connected with Paul Heyman. Big heel. I see either Royal Rumble or fucking even WrestleMania. I know it's a long time. It's a long time, but I don't see Roman losing that title anytime soon.
Anytime? Nah, hell no.
And like in terms of what would be even though it may mirror like WrestleMania 35 with Kofi, but I do think with Daniel Bryan and Kofi, they were similar enough as competitors for it to not be for it to be a different match if we were to see Big E versus Roman. And I think that will end with Big E having a title because like WrestleMania is Hollywood and you know it's a big while away. There's a lot can happen between now and then.
There's not just that. Obviously, we did see they talk about it when, you know, obviously Sheamus had a little bit of bee in his bonnet when Big E tried to take that locker room leadership role.
Yeah, he's ready there.
Which is Roman Reigns. That's where Roman Reigns has always been. So it's kind of like it's guaranteed to be that battle of power where even like Roman Reigns is going to have the Messiah complex, as I like to call it. Roman Reigns is easily going to be like, I may be the bad guy, but I want the best for this business, and
with the whole idea the whole idea of it's not confirmed yet, obviously, that he is the leader of Retribution or he's a key player in Retribution. With their whole idea is essentially WWE is wrong. It's changed. It's not what it should be. And I think that's a good angle for Roman to take for him to have that approach of this needs to change. He goes, this is not the WWE that I remember. This is not WWE that was mine. I want to change it for the better, or in my image, which is kind of where I'm at.
Exactly right.
Yeah, and then that moment, Big E holding it over Roman. A, it's a pop because Roman will lose, and two, it'll pop because it's fucking Big E. Like it can't be any other better. Now, the reason I didn't say him to win Rumble because I have a different idea of who's going to win Rumble. Just saying.
Yeah.
And I'll talk about that later in the card. But yeah, so like I don't see him being a Rumble winner. I see him sort of having a steady incline with maybe a mid-card title, or at least maybe get in that picture for a little while and then make his way to the big
I reckon there's
Rumble.
going to be a power struggle for the locker room between them. I think that's how it's going to come about.
Yeah, because I look at the roster right now, and I'm not seeing anyone that should be in that same position, right? So obviously we will probably see. Fucking spoilers at the end of the night. We will see Roman Reigns get the win the title. We will probably see him take on the Fiend again at some point in the future. But then apart from that, who is there? Like Braun has lost twice. He's lost in 2 weeks in a row. He ain't getting another shot. And like you look at that roster, and there is no one else on SmackDown that I can think of that deserves that shot.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just built. It'll be a bunch of randos until Big E can be ready to rock and roll.
I just had an idea.
Shoot.
I have a feeling that maybe Otis is going to cash in on Bobby Lashley. They're on the same card, right?
No, he's SmackDown.
Never mind then. Never mind.
Yeah, because trying to see him cash on Roman and get his ass handed to him would be sad and funny.
That would be bad.
Mostly
yeah.
sad.
It'd be interesting, like, especially if, like, say, obviously we've got this whole ordeal with Jeff Hardy and the Intercontinental Championship and Sami Zayn.
Yep, Sami Zayn's return, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Maybe Otis will make his cash in there. I mean, he's got 12 months to do it from.
Yeah, well, he's got until June, so. We almost forgot that he had it until we realized it was a lunchbox in the bank, with assorted meats in it, which I kind of want that. I kind of want that lunchbox. Next up was Matt Riddle versus King Corbin. Probably honestly another match I didn't really care too much about. It's a situation where this feud between King Corbin and Matt Riddle has gone on a little bit longer than what's probably wanted. But it's this weird situation of Corbin's taken a couple losses, yet he just gets up and is like, yeah, let's go. It's like I don't know how he keeps doing it or why he keeps doing it. Like, why don't you just take the bus, dude?
Because you can't take no for an answer.
Yeah.
So before this, obviously, there was a little backstage interview. We've got a new interviewee. Her name was Alice Ashton. And she was asking Matt Riddle, like, you know, how motivated you, and he's like, you know, the bro's always motivated and rah, rah, rah. And then she quotes one of Baron Corbin's tweets where he's like, you know, I'm going to show everybody he's a failure in the ring like he showed everybody he's a failure at home. Oof. Obviously taking a dig at some things that were brought up earlier in the year, which really, really pissed Riddle off.
He got that nose flare going, so he was mad.
Yeah,
that's how you can tell.
Mad. And then as soon as he got in the ring, like Matt Riddle like kicked off his shoes, and then Corbin just clotheslined him and went through the match. I guess this is kind of a toilet break match for me because I was just like really not invested. But there was some pretty hard hitting sort of stuff going on there. Pretty evenly matched dudes. I mean, Corbin's just that little bit taller. But it ended up being a good match. Matt Riddle ended up winning using what he calls the floating bro.
Essentially like a moonsault with a twist.
Yeah, exactly it, which is a bit of fun. And then, you know, he's backstage getting asked how he feels about beating Baron Corbin and how he feels about it being over. And then Baron Corbin... His
fucking head just comes... Because of the way the camera... This is the thing that made me laugh the hardest. Because the way the camera was shot. So Matt Riddle's quite tall, especially compared to the woman he was speaking with. Behind him was just like a dark hallway. So across the shoulder, he's covering where Baron Corbin's body would be. So all you see is his head just come from the darkness over the shoulder. So like no body, just a running head. And I got the big giggles out of it. And then Matt Corbin. Pretty sure he's a singer. Baron Corbin punches Matt Riddle, who fell into a pile of assorted fruit, and apparently that was Matt Riddle's weakness because he was down.
He was out,
This is like,
oh no, potassium.
No, vitamins.
My weakness.
Citrus, no.
So this isn't done, and I hate that it's not done.
Same. I also hate that it's not done. But it's this weird situation, right? So it's very similar to Big E and Sheamus. You know, we remove our kayfabe for a second. Both Sheamus and Baron Corbin are good workers. So if you want to get someone over or move someone up a little bit, you put them the same way as Cesaro. The three of them are good workers, and they can take an L and still look reasonably good. So for them, it's just to help lift someone up a little bit. All right, kayfabe back on.
Yeah.
But I don't get. I can't care about the about where this is going because Matt Riddle's going to get the big win here. There's no other way it can go, and it feels like we're just killing time until that big win comes.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, I don't know. I think, you know, there might be... Obviously, Matt Riddle calls himself the king of bros, and Baron Corbin's obviously like...
The king? Oh, shit! I didn't even think about that.
You think, I'm thinking maybe there might be a king for king match or something like that where the loser loses their king title.
Actually, that would be amazing. That's a great way for this to end. Because I was trying to think about this. I'm like, what could the next step of this be apart from another match? Another match.
Riddle said it in his starting interviews. He's like, King Corbin, the King of the Ring, is scared that the King of Both is going to take his crown. So
that would actually be great.
I feel like maybe
I don't know whether they're going to another King of the Ring tournament again this year. Certainly, I imagine there's no plan for a King of the Ring pay-per-view or anything.
No.
So maybe if it's more of a you slay the king, you get the crown sort of thing rather than
you keep what you kill type thing.
Yeah, because I always wondered how it's because my understanding from previous King of the Rings was like you are the king until the next time, and then someone else wins it, and you are no longer
until
king.
the next person's dethroned. Yeah, exactly. It.
So I like the idea of bringing someone like you have to slay the king is a good way to look at it. Let's go from kings to queens. Queen of Spades with the Women's Tag Team Championship match. Shayna Basler and Nia Jax against the current champions Sasha Banks and Bayley. This is right on the heels of Sasha Banks losing her Raw Championship to Asuka at SummerSlam last week, and right on the heels of fucking Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax being thrown together on a team, which happened on the Raw prior to this.
Yeah, how did that come about? Because that I missed.
Nope, just because they were they were yelling at each other, and they're like, we hate them more, I guess. That's the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Yeah, well, this was, one thing I did love. There was a little, backstage tiff between, Shayna and Nia getting shovey. And they're like, look, let's just kill the pre-match chit-chat. And, agreed. And Nia was wearing a There's Nobody Meaner Than Tamina shirt, which I loved.
You know why? Because all of Nia Jax's merch is currently in the clearance store on the WWE shop. So there's no real reason for her to push it because it's already out the door.
Yeah, exactly.
That is not a joke. I was in the clearance store buying shirts the other day. Literally all those shit's there.
This marks the 324th day that Bayley has been SmackDown champion as well.
The difficulty of putting that in her hair, you have to cross it out somehow and redo it. It's very difficult.
Yeah, exactly it. One thing I loved is Corey Graves. You know how Big E always throws his shirt at Corey Graves, which always gets him. This time the roles were reversed and Bayley dropped a shirt on Michael Cole's head.
Michael Cole did not look interested remotely. I enjoyed that
he was
thoroughly.
not about it. I love Michael Cole for that.
But let's just get right to the business. This was apart from Nia Jax in general, this match was really, really good. I liked Shayna was mad. Bayley and Sasha tried to hold their own. But it wasn't until the very, very end where Shayna was in the ring. She attempts a Carafuna clutch on Bayley. Sasha comes to break it up. She lets Bayley go, throw her into the ropes, knocks down Sasha, gets her in a figure four, then proceeds to just reach over, grab Bayley, get her in the clutch.
Another clutch,
choke them both out, pull on the legs, and then just reach back, grab Bayley's arm.
Sasha's trying to get over.
Sasha's arm.
Sasha's trying to get over.
Grabs Sasha's arm and just fucking chokes out Bayley with it.
Yeah.
Oh!
Bayley taps out to her best friend at the hands of Shayna Baszler. Beautiful.
Absolutely awesome.
That is one hell of a fucking ending. I have never ever seen anything like that in the history of me watching the wrestling. So that ending was just and then, they obviously had a pre-match interview and, Nia Jax is just being an asshole. She's just an obnoxious asshole. But, it's an interesting dynamic. It's going to be interesting to see how long they hold the titles for, how long they can stay that strong for. Fuck.
See, the thing that's most interesting here, I didn't see it going this way, to be honest. I saw
Neither.
Even on the back of Sasha.
Bayley and Sasha were tagging so well.
Yeah, well, because the whole idea, coming into this, you really got this sense of obviously Bayley and Sasha have there is current turmoil between them. It's not being addressed, but there is turmoil between them. So you get you're really feeling that there is a connection. They've been wrestling together for years. They are a cohesive unit. Where Basler and Jax, they've been thrown together. They don't like each other. If they had their way, they would have been fighting at this very moment because So like there is that stability, and you wouldn't the instability, and you wouldn't expect them to be working well together for that exact reason. So it was very interesting that they were able to work well enough to be able to get a win. And it's this weird line where history sort of dictates that if you're a throw together team, you will always lose to a more cohesive team. And that just makes sense. Like especially people that have been together in the past. That's kind of how I see it going. I have an idea of who would be next. But let's talk. We have any thoughts on how they paired up?
Well, look, I obviously you can tell there was definitely cracks in it. It's really interesting how they're going to work as a team. But I think my biggest thing is like what's going to happen with Sasha and Bayley, because Bayley has lost Sasha both of her titles within a week of each other. Within a week of each other. And you could see that like Sasha was not looking pretty at Bayley at the end of that. She was not happy. Yeah. So I'm really interested to see where this is going to go. Like I want to play fantasy booking. Fantasy booking's fun. Do it.
Where do you
fantasy booking?
You go, Jem. Give me a ballpark, and then I will run with what I think it could be.
Fantasy booking. Shit. Well, are they on the same brand?
No, they are not.
Are they?
So with Sasha losing the Raw title with and losing the tag titles, they both shift back to SmackDown.
Oh, they both shift back to SmackDown.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, so they're still in the same thing. So I have a feeling there's going to be a repeat of what do you call it? I have a feeling there's going to be a repeat of the Sasha and Bayley, like in NXT. They're going to have that breakup, and Sasha's maybe going to take Bayley's belt. That's where I think realistically it's going to go, as like a bit of a payback. You fucked me over, so that's mine now. Fantasy booking though, I would love to see them get the belt. Like I'd love to see the Sasha and Bayley with the tag team belts again. And then maybe somebody like Jessamine Duke or Marina Shafir, or even maybe Ronda Rousey comes back. But I want to see the golden role models versus the four horsewomen of the WWE versus two of the four horsewomen from MMA.
Okay.
I would love to see that tag match happen. I think that would be an amazing place to go.
All right. This is where I see it going.
Do it.
Clash of Champions. Bayley has a match, not against Sasha, but Sasha causes her to lose the title. We see anger. We see frustration. We see years of built up resentment, and that comes together in a Hell in the Cell match. For the SmackDown, does it have to be about a title, or it's just the two of them just fucking punch, like it's blood feud shit?
Yeah. Because
what have they been showing like on the network? What have they been talking about? They've been talking about X amount of years ago, Sasha and Bayley had this mega match at Takeover Brooklyn. Like this, I see that times two. Like Bayley versus Sasha 2. Hell in a Cell. Like if we think about some of the best matches of last year, it's Sasha versus Becky at Hell in a Cell. Give me definitely. Sasha Bayley Hell in a Cell.
Oh hell yeah!
And that's what it'd be, because like
they know each other so well. It'd be such a good match.
Because I even though I do think that it would make sense for it to be for a title, I think the titles are, as we're seeing right now, the titles are almost irrelevant to the story that I want to see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
definitely.
yes, it prop them up, but it's all about them coming back down. And I want to see them, both at their worst, no titles, title rank, like, both,
nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose, and they just want to throttle each other. And when you're in a Hell in a Cell, no rules, weapons, it's going to be fucking brutal. That is what I want to see.
Hell yes. That I love the sound of that.
Yeah. And in terms of tag team, I see Riot Squad, Clash of Champions, they're going to win.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I think that would be awesome.
Alrighty, so I've just lost my list. Alright, so next up, fucking Keith Lee versus Randaddy Orton. Randall Keith Orton.
Randall, Keith.
Fucking
yeah.
Keiths everywhere.
All the Keiths. Keith.
Keith.
I know you're a huge Keith Lee fan.
I'm
so I'll
a
let you
Keith
say.
Lee mark, my friend.
Yeah, do it. You
Oh, man.
the
All
stage
right.
is
So
yours.
this is essentially a build-up of what we saw on Raw, where Drew McIntyre, after being like, hey, motherfucker, I totally beat you, Randy Orton. Kiss my asshole. He then gets punted 3 times in the head, putting him out of commish.
Fuck.
So there was originally a scheduled match for Keith Lee and Randaddy on Raw. It was actually disrupted by Mr. McIntyre, which obviously Keith wanted a rematch. So somehow it got on the pay-per-view, and that's what it is. So in short, newest upcomer, big superstar from NXT versus the legend killer. Awesome match, hard hitting, massively like brutal chops. But the only thing you like, check out the match.
They
If you're a
were
mark
loud.
like me, you're gonna love it. Additionally, this is what you need to take away from this. Keith Lee beat Randy Orton clean in the middle of the ring with the Spirit Bomb. Clean.
And Randy was pissed. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Randy went for the RKO and like Keith just caught it.
Yeah,
He
Keith
was like,
turned it,
"Come on,
lifted
you
him up,
buddy."
and just fucking yeeted him down. And
Yeah.
I was out of my chair the first time I watched it, and then I was at work, and then I watched it again with my friend with Craig in the evening, and I jumped out of my chair again. It was so good.
Beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. Because I think Drew McIntyre offered Randy like a sympathy rematch or
Yeah.
something like that, which pissed Randy off. And then Keith Lee was like, oh, hey, like, I want to fight you. And that's sort of how the match came about or something like that.
It like
He
this
offered him, what was it, like a once in a lifetime opportunity or
to
something like that.
bask
Just
in
the way
his
Keith-
glory.
Yeah, the way Keith speaks is just so fucking like
Good. It's just
otherworldly,
good.
and I love it. Yeah,
He
so-
speaks with such intent, and every word matters, and it's just I'm a big Keith Lee mark, so Now
that was awesome. I got hyped for Keith Lee.
apparently this is fantasy booking day, Jem, because I have plans.
Do it.
This is how I want to
it.
see it go. Clash
Do
of
it.
So we're thinking about it this way: Keith Lee just took out the biggest heel on Raw.
He did.
Wrecked him. Drew McIntyre will want repercussions for the punting.
Yeah, of course.
Nudie coming out short, the punting.
Yep.
Clash of Champions. Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton. Randy Orton wins. He takes that title and continues to be a big old heel, and he holds that until, I'm going to say, Mania. So then you think about it. What's before Mania? Royal Rumble. Keith Lee comes in. He wins that Rumble. We see Keith versus Randaddy at WrestleMania, and Keith takes that title.
Ooh. Interesting. See,
Mad Dog, I was doing the big Keith voice like you. I know what it is. Every time I look at him, he just looks like
it's
a
just like a
Keith.
beer.
Yeah, fucking Keith.
Yep.
And you gotta add the fucking in front of him for some
Yeah.
reason. He gets real mad. It's like, oh, fucking Keith.
Yeah. Nah.
That's what I want to
could be
see. I
other
know
way.
that's like it's long term, even though I'm sure he can win it in the interim. But I think Randy, being the legend killer that he is, he's going to decimate anyone between now and then. That's a lot of build up. I know. It's a lot of time.
See?
It's a lot of time.
I'm thinking, like, obviously we saw JBL come up to Keith Lee before the match and offered him, like, you know, something. And he's like, you know, don't feel bad if you lose against Randy. He is, like, the best in the business and this, that, and the other. And obviously Keith's just proved him wrong. I have a feeling that Keith's going to get the whole, like, people are going to underestimate him and he's going to do a really big, nasty heel turn.
No, don't say that.
I think it's going to be Keith versus Drew McIntyre at something like Mania.
Whoa, bold.
Whether
bold.
Drew McIntyre flips or whether Keith flips, one of them will. And I think it's going to be those two. I think it's going to
Actually,
Keith's talking about how friendly they are. So.
That might be better if Drew turns and then Keith. Actually, I like that.
If Drew flips back to that old sort of bad guy mentality. But I think there's going to be something there. Like, unfortunately, we know that heel runs don't last. Face runs don't last too long. Like, it's just nature. Like, it gets to their head, the power gets to their head, and they immediately just sort of flip. And I think that might happen here. And I think, Keith Lee will just have to knock Drew back.
See, and Mad Dog points out in the chat. I was just about to say this exact sentence. The Betson's WrestleMania has Big E as Universal Champion and Big Keith as WWE Champion. That is two huge African-American men. This is unprecedented. Fucking walking out titles mania.
Yeah, and I agree.
I would love it.
That would be amazing. Yeah, and I think that's what we're headed towards.
We want to see
especially with everything going on with the riots and stuff.
Big black champions.
Exactly.
Circumvent what you think. Big black champions, everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no, I had a good old time. This is you, Jem. That I had my gush moment. This is your gush moment.
Yeah, one after the other. So there was a match on Raw, I believe, of Dominic and Rey Mysterio versus the Monday Night Messiah and Murphy, which was interrupted by Retribution. So this is basically just a rematch of that. Now, I didn't watch that match, but I sure as hell watched this. This match did not go as I was expecting. Obviously, we saw, less than 7 days ago, we saw Dominic Mysterio in a match against Seth Rollins. Didn't go too great. Obviously, his debut match, clearly nervous. He ended up losing. This was a whole different Dominic Mysterio. Like, him and Rey together are just something else. Like I was saying before the show, like, you can tell it's in their blood. Because Dominic was flying. He was hitting hard. He was going for the ropes. He was just as soon as the bell rang, he slid through the ropes and like beat both Seth and Murphy down. Yeah, absolutely just wailed on him. So, you know, clearly he and Rey had like a little plan beforehand and they absolutely just dominated this match. Like, absolutely had the upper hand for 90% of the match. Like, it was absolutely beautiful. And yeah, they ended up getting the win thanks to Dominic. Dominic managed to, he got a big old 619 on Murphy. Well, he threw Rey out of the ring into Seth to keep Seth out of the way. And then copped a big old 619 on Murphy, a massive frog splash, and then the 1, 2, 3. Dominic got the win over Murphy for this one, which was amazing. Like, I was just like, yes, kid. Like, you're a weekend and you got your first win against Murphy of all people. But my God, it was a good match. But what sort of caused it all to crash down was like, Seth's like, you know, Murphy, I want you to kick Rey in the head. And as Seth's picked him up and taken him over to the corner, Rey's ducked out of the way and Murphy's clocked Seth.
Oh.
So Seth was pissed at Murphy and you could tell. Like, accidents happen, man. Like, how was he supposed to see it happening? His foot was there before, you know, Rey ducked. So, yeah, phenomenal ending. Absolutely phenomenal ending. And like both, like you said it as well, both Dominic and Rey were just like for Eddie, and I was just like,
yeah, man. Like, because you've got that long history. You love that history. Like, you've got that mad history, so you are feeling it. It's here for you. And it's like, I don't even have...
And it's not the first nod to Eddie Guerrero in the night either, because Sasha Banks did the 3 Amigos, which is 3 German suplexes. Yep. Which is 2 of 3 of them. But still, it's like, you know, everybody tonight was like a little bit of a nod to Eddie Guerrero. And it's just like...
Yeah, no, it's like, so, like, for me, like, as a dad myself, watching them walk out together and be able to share that moment... with, you know, like, even just like, it just Rey's music kicks in, they come out together, they're like, I'm genuinely moved by it. Like, I can't even articulate the words properly. Like, because it's like, it's not just amazing that his son wants to follow in his footsteps. It's that they're still at a place where they can do it together. So they get to share it together, and then Mama Mysterio's back there as well. She's backstage, so it's a massive experience. They then get to get a win, and they get to do it together. He gets to help, elevate his son. Like he picks him up and gives him that go, and I fucking love it. And it's just like when they he's doing his dad's moves, he's getting the 619, they're showing respect to his other dad.
619 he does. Yeah, I love the little apron 619 he does where he just jumps and swings his legs around like the lower rope. That's so cool.
It warms my heart endlessly.
Fantasy booking.
Yeah, go ahead.
Before he fully retires, I am hoping that he and Dominic get a tag team run.
They get a belts together?
I hope they get a tag team championship run.
That'll do it for me.
Yeah, exactly it. I am hoping and praying that they can have that before they leave.
Yeah. But no,
I know Ray's definitely on the end of his tenure.
Oh, big time. And I think this is certainly something that they've been wanting to do for the longest time. Like
and everybody's wanted it.
Yeah, Ray has constantly discussed the idea that maybe this is his time to go, and it's almost as if that it was just waiting and waiting and waiting until he got to do this moment. And as I said, like 15 years ago or whatever, there were seeds that Dominic was going to be as part of this world as well. And this is now a good transition. So what I'm personally hoping is that Rey Mysterio steps away, Mama Mysterio comes in, she becomes the next top women's competitor, and then we're all happy. Fucking Angie Mysterio, WrestleMania.
Raw Women's Champion.
Ange, Mama Mysterio, get in there.
Oh god, nah! I definitely
then we get
hoping and praying.
Angie DOS belts as well, and then I'm happy with that. That's what I want.
Oh god, no! I'm definitely hoping that before Ray steps away, that we do get Rey Mysterio, the Mysterios as a tag team.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Like the only thing,
icing on the cake.
Because right now,
it'd be the perfect way for Ray to end.
Yeah, because right now I'm trying to think of what could Ray's obviously, because they announced at the end of the night that Ray has a match against Seth on Raw this week.
Yes.
But there's no mention of what the future holds for Dominic. And if you look at the roster, there's not a lot that I would see him go, because right now they're working on limited staff as it is because of current circumstances. Not all the full roster is there and or working. So I don't know what the future holds for him. But like if you look over it, there's kind of more opportunity for him on SmackDown almost if he was to stay on the main card. But do you think there's an opportunity that he might wander back down to NXT?
It's hard to say. I think because he started on the big brand, I think he's going to stay there. I think that's just the legacy. That's the way it went back in the day. That's the way. It's weird. I just feel he's too young. Not that he's too green. I don't think him being green is a problem. Well, when I look at the other. Dominic Mysterio now is where Randy Orton was when he won the title.
That's very true. That's very true.
For a few years, he was 23 when he won the World Heavyweight Championship. He was the youngest superstar to ever do it. So I think with the right, obviously he's got the right training. He's got the Mysterio legacy. He's got the Mysterio blood in his veins. I honestly see something happening like. I would love to see, this is just me and like going back to that lucha style, I would love to see Andrade and Angel Garza take the titles, and then you have like a lucha style match with like Andrade and Angel Garza versus the Mysterios. I think that would just be the perfect way to send Ray.
Well, because Andrade also does the Three Amigos as well. He's pretty
exactly it. They've got that. They've got those ties there. I think that's really cool, and that brings in that whole market of the Mexican.
And I think that would be a nice little nod as well if they do happen to be what becomes his final match. Is this complete? Everyone in the rings from the same background. Like there's this big family feel to it. I think it'd be great. Mad Dog in the chat puts in Team PopC versus the Mysterios. So it'll be a mixed tag team match. Dom, Ange, you, me. Do it.
Yeah, we got this. We got this.
Good times. All right, let's get on to the main match.
Main event.
So this, I'll provide some background to this. So this is, it was announced at on SmackDown that there was to be a triple threat match: Braun Strowman, the Fiend Bray Wyatt versus Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. Adam Pearce was tasked with the task of getting the signature for each of them. So one from each. He was able to get the Bray Wyatt to sign on behalf of the Fiend. He was able to get Braun Strowman to sign. Yet
I loved him coming in looking like a poster man.
Yet he did not get the signature from Roman. This is where we see him. He is connected with Paul Heyman. He agreed that he said that he would be at Payback if there was changes to the contract, and he will be there and he will sign. So one of those things that was requested was the addition of the no holds barred, making it essentially no disqualification match where anything goes. So the match kicked off with the Fiend, which I knew.
Can I say one thing quickly before we get into it? When it came to the contract signing and I saw Roman Reigns say, "That's not a prediction, that's a spoiler," I was like, "Oh, don't tell me." And then like Paul Heyman leaned in and I was like, "Oh, fuck."
Here
we go. Yeah. I was like, "Oh god, this is going to be great and terrible."
Oh, it's going to be such mixed emotions. It was awesome. I did pop a little when I saw that.
Yeah.
So the Fiend comes out first, which I was instantly made me suspicious because the champion should always come out last. So his entrance, which fucking rocks my shorts, rocks the jocks.
Amazing every time.
In the Thunderdome, it looks fantastic. He comes in the ring. Second he gets in there, Braun Strowman's just there and just punches the shit out of him. They proceed to obliterate each other for the longest time. Almost
the mallet comes out and everything.
Almost no mention of Roman Reigns at all. Yeah, the mallet comes out. But it was Michael Cole.
That's the first thing I said. I was like, no Roman Reigns.
As Michael Cole says, it looks like a mallet of some kind. It's the Michael Cole.
He's on fire.
I argue for you most of the time.
Yeah,
you've seen this mallet.
I love it.
You commentated the Hell in the Cell match last year where he bought it out for Seth Rollins. And I don't know whether you remember, Seth Rollins used that mallet on Bray Wyatt's fucking face.
Yeah.
So it's not a new thing, it's an old thing. God damn it. Son of a bitch. But
I love Michael Cole.
But
it's another German.
They essentially wreck each other for a big while. We then get a top rope superplex. Bray Wyatt yeets Braun Strowman, blows apart the ring, similar to the old Big Show and Braun Strowman match, and I think Brock Lesnar did it once as well. So the thing collapsed. Ref fucking fumbles his way out of the ring.
I anticipated something like this because to me the ropes were unusually loose.
Yes, and they weren't using the LED ring ropes, the pole. Sorry.
Yeah, no, oh my god, sorry.
That's all right.
Aaron's being a dick. So I was not like I was like, oh, the ropes are unusually loose. Like something's gonna happen to this ring. Like, and just a big old the whole thing just collapsed. And I was like, oh shit. And then out comes Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman in tow. Yeah. Chair in one hand, like thing in the other hand, signs the paperwork, barrels down to the ring.
No. He comes out with a chair, signs the paperwork, walks down, puts the chair down, walks in the ring like, use the fucking chair, dude.
Everybody was out.
So he gets in, attempts the pin on either of them. They both kick out at 2. He then goes and gets the chair, fucking wreck shop. Then, just in order to fuck with his brand new teeth, Bray Wyatt goes for the claw. Roman not happy.
Reigns low blows him to get out. Yeah,
kicks him right in the dick hole, which I thought, that's how you know he's good heel. He's willing to kick groin.
Yeah. Dirty groin.
Yeah, so Wyatt falls out of the ring, spear to Braun Strowman. 1, 2, 3. Roman Reigns is once again your Universal Champion. Now, I'm going to let you go first because I know you got to spew some hatred, so go ahead.
Look, I hate it. Like, I get where they're going, and, like, I understand the whole Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns thing, but, like, take your teeth and fuck off. Like, you look like Mr. Ed out here with those big old fucking pearly ones.
Chompers.
Like, yeah, nobody wants this. It sucks because, like, the Fiend is... When the Fiend holds a championship, like, both times, he's not had it for long, and that pisses me off because he's one of those people that should have a long, really mysterious, really eerie title reign. One thing I did find interesting about this, though, was the entire time Alexa Bliss was watching on.
She was, and she's
the entire time.
So she seemed to have returned to her old gimmick, which boy did that do some things for me. Let me just put that out there. Oh damn! And then she's proceeding to like get her own little fiendish dreads.
Yeah, she's like twirling her hair and stuff. So who knows what's going on here? But you know, because we did see on SmackDown, I'm pretty sure that I think they attacked Nikki and Alexa attacked Sasha and Bayley, didn't they?
I don't believe so.
Or am I imagining things? Because I think I saw something with the Iconics and they're like, you know, don't turn your back on Alexa and Nikki.
Maybe.
I don't know. I can't remember. But yeah, it's interesting to see where this is going because obviously Nikki Cross has noticed that there's something different. I did see her pointing out something like, hey, like what's this with your hair? And she's like, I don't know. I just thought I'd try something different. So yeah, I don't know. Like, is there something hiding behind all of this? Like, are we actually going to see Alexa Bliss sort of, you know, is Alexa Bliss Sister Abigail? Like, is this going to happen?
Strapagal.
But aside from that, yeah.
Sorry, it just made me laugh because I didn't expect that. You mean Sister Abigail?
Yeah, like, yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, I thought you said, because the audio wigged out, you said I thought you said Strapagal. I'm like, what's a Strapagal?
No, Sister Abigail.
Yeah, that makes way more sense.
Yeah. But as far as the title and stuff goes, like, I don't... Like I said, like fantasy booking, it'd be like Big E and Reigns, like that power struggle. But then that's sort of like, where does that put the Fiend? And like, are we still going to see more Fiend and Braun Strowman? Like, is the Fiend going to be pissed that Braun Strowman lost him his belt? And is there going to be more going on there with Alexa caught in the middle? Like, there's so many ways that this could go. So yeah, but overall, like, we all know I don't care for Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Like, everybody like blows smoke up his ass, but I think he's the most boring, most bland piece of like garbage in the WWE.
Yeah, so
Take your teeth and fuck off.
I can understand that, but I think this is an opportunity for him to be a little bit more interesting. Because I
think Heyman was a good choice.
He's essentially having the opportunity that I bet John Cena wish he could have had. Like, if you think about the people that would never ever turn heel in your short list, it's like John Cena and Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Up until this week, that was the answer. But that has changed.
Oh, back in the day, Cena was.
But he wasn't heel. He was like a dick, but he wasn't a heel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
but yeah, I know what you mean.
Even the Doctor of Thugonomics was just a smart ass. He wasn't a heel.
Yeah.
So like what we're seeing here, is we're seeing this shift. As Buddy mentioned in the chat, needs a new moveset. We haven't seen the fucking Superman punch. We've only seen the spear so far, so it's very possible that we will see that change. He's still currently wearing his Wreck Everyone and Leave shirt. He's not, wearing the same like attire. He's not wearing the same like bulletproof vest or anything. So I do think we will see a change in those things, and that'll be interesting. It's this weird situation where I find it a little bit crap that he got it in a week. I think it would have been a little bit better if it took a little while, or at least another month or so. But Paul, if anything, it's demonstrating that Paul Heyman knows what he's doing when he's managing someone. Like we think about what took place here. It was let everybody fight it out. You come in and take the glory. What did we see at Money in the Bank last year? Exactly that. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty confident Paul Heyman's done it before. Like he knows what works. So for him, it's like, here it is. This is how you get your win.
He ran his own fucking promotion. He knows.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So runs a promotion, but as a manager, it's like, this is what you want to do. You want that title? This is how you get it. Yeah. So I like that.
Yeah, Paul Heyman used to run ECW. He knows the ins and outs.
Yeah.
He knows how to make somebody a star.
And it's one of those situations where, like Roman doesn't need it to be a star or to get anything like that.
Nah,
but
Reigns is already a star, but Paul Heyman will elevate him at that extra level for sure, no matter which way he goes.
But yeah, so I don't see this being the end of The Fiend versus Roman Reigns. Because, Braun didn't get the pin. All Bray got was a kick in the dick. I see this.
I don't think it's the end of Braun and The Fiend, to be honest.
Yeah, because once again, look at the roster. Who else until Big E in my version of WrestleMania, someone's got to work with Roman. And I don't know who it is apart from that. I think maybe we'll see Roman take on Bray Wyatt. And then take on The Fiend. Yeah. Excuse me, yawn just kicked me in the face. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
But that does...
There's so many ways it could go.
Yeah, man. So that brings us to the end of Payback. Jem, using our not-so-patented Kurt Angle rating system, where we rate things with Kurt Angles. And what do you give this bad boy?
Oh, look, it was pretty solid. It wasn't SummerSlam level, but it was pretty good. There was a few matches that were a bit like, but I guess that sort of, the heartstrings were pulled with the Mysterio match, and that Shayna Basler finish was just phenomenal. So I'd probably have to call it a curtain bar.
See, I'm in an interesting space because, there were like two matches that I didn't care about, being Matt Riddle, Corbin, and Apollo Crews and Bobby Lashley, and with a 7-match card, including kickoff. There's not a lot of room to wiggle here, but everything else, because look what we've done tonight. We have fantasy booked, we have speculated, we have been able to get so much more deep processing out of this pay-per-view, out of this tidy 2.5 hour pay-per-view than we've done for bigger ones. So from what I love to get out of this show, what I love to get out of this show, and what I love to get out of wrestling, it's ticked all the boxes for me. It's fucking 2 Kurtz. It was tiny. Nice. It was tight. It hit all the bits that I needed. It helped me create this idea of where I see it going. Although it may not go that way, it kind of got it all going for me, and that's kind of why that is more of an emotional score than a critical score. But who fuck says that we're being critical?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Nah, it's that's what we do here. It's all about passion. We feel it. We don't criticize it. We feel it.
Yeah, because Big E asked me to feel it. Yeah, he did say.
Yeah, he did.
He says feel that, feel the power.
Yeah, he did say feel the power.
Yeah, so big thank you to everyone for joining us. Let us know what you thought of Payback in those comments below or on the social medias. We'll be happy to talk wrestling at any time. Thank you, Jem. This has been our Payback review, and it's come at you on a Wednesday morning at 8 a.m. on your podcast services, 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. If you want to hear the regular show, that comes at you at a Thursday morning, same time, 8 a.m., 9 on the podcast services, at 9 a.m. on those YouTubes. That's where we do our Raw and SmackDown. If you want to join that wrestling conversation, you can head over to Facebook, Instagram, Discord, Twitter. All those links are in the down below area. If you want to join the show as it happens, head over to twitch.tv/The Pop Cultures, where just like Buddy and Mad Dog and Game That Tune, and there's a couple other names in there as well, you can join, you can chat with us and help contribute to the show, because we love having the show, and we'll run with it and we'll speculate, but you guys can always throw your 2 cents in, because if anything, it makes the show better. And we love to hear what you guys think. If you want to share, if you want to support the show and let us know what you think in other ways, you can. If you're listening to our podcast services, be sure to give us a 5-star rating and a written review. Tell your friends, tell your family. If you're on the YouTube, be sure to give it a thumb up. Subscribe, ring the notification bell, comments down below. Once again, big thank you to anyone listening from Ireland for putting us in the charts. Much appreciated. Hope we can stay around there longer. Maybe we'll get some more people out of there. That'll be awesome. If you want to support us financially, patreon.com/thepopculturist, as well as our merchandise store, popculturist.com/shop, where you can buy shirts and other assorted shit with our logos on it. With a brand new design, by the way. A new one went up the other day. Not wrestling related. Dylan, Craig, and I were watching Kevin Smith versus Chris Jericho in the movie Trivia Schmodown. And he drew a funny sketch of me, and I was like, ha ha, I'm putting that on a shirt. So I did.
Nice.
So go check that out. But until we come back to talk Raw and, just Raw this week, I'm Ryan Betson.
Yeah. And you can call me Nobel Banks. I'm Gemma.
We'll see you tomorrow.
See you then.
The Young and the Restless, the Pop Culturist WWE podcast, is fan support over at Patreon at patreon.com/thepopculturist. And we'd like to thank our Patreon producers and our Patreon founders for their kindness, their support, and their generosity. Our Patreon founders: Alpha Ferret, Craig O'Flaherty, David Chataway, Jesse Stevenson, and Jacob Garner. And our Patreon producers: AJ Abatomi, Damian Holdies, Kyle Dunn, Lee Wintershoven, Nathan Massetti, Paul James, Pure Mongrel, and Sean Levitt.